Have you ever laid your head upon the pillow at night, your mind restless with worry, fear of tomorrow, fear of lack, fear of what might never change? How many times have you whispered into the silence, asking why life seems heavy, why opportunities appear scarce, why the chains of limitation feel so unyielding? And yet I say to you with quiet certainty, within you lies a sleeping giant, a power more immense than the oceans, more luminous than the stars, more faithful than the rising sun. This power is your subconscious mind, and it answers unfailingly to the law of belief. The truth is simple yet profound. As you believe, so it is done unto you. The thoughts you accept as true, the images you nurture with feeling, these are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Like seeds placed in the earth, they grow silently, irresistibly, bringing forth fruits after their kind. If you plant seeds of fear, you reap fear. If you plant seeds of abundance, you reap abundance. The law is impartial, unchanging, eternal. Consider the words of Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. The heart in Scripture is not the physical organ, but the subconscious depth of mind, the silent treasury where beliefs are stored, and from which they flow outward into form. Pause and reflect upon this. The circumstances of your life today are but the harvest of yesterday's thoughts and beliefs. Yet you are not condemned to reap endlessly the same crop, for at any moment you may plant new seeds, you may choose new thoughts, you may impress upon your subconscious a vision of plenty, of health, of radiant love, and the law will bring it forth unfailingly. Let us affirm together, I am the master gardener of my mind. I plant only seeds of joy, wealth, health, and peace. These seeds grow silently, faithfully, and abundantly in my life. When I first began to study the workings of the mind, I saw how men and women, unaware of the law, chained themselves to lives of misery by holding fast to false beliefs. I recall a man who constantly repeated to himself, I can't make ends meet, money slips through my fingers, life is a struggle. His subconscious, hearing these decrees, took them as commands and faithfully produced poverty, frustration, and struggle in his outer world. He blamed chance, bad luck, and the injustice of others, never realizing that he himself was the author of his misfortune. But when I taught him to reverse his pattern, to affirm with feeling, I am prosperous, I am guided to wealth, money flows to me freely and joyously, his life began to change. Opportunities appeared, ideas blossomed, doors opened. Within a year, he was out of debt and enjoying financial independence. The world outside did not change first. His inner belief changed, and the world mirrored that belief. This is why Job 22:28 declares, Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Your decree is your inner conviction, the thought charged with feeling that you accept as true. Every decree of fear, worry, or resentment sets a pattern in the subconscious. Every decree of love, faith, and abundance plants a seed of good that must grow. Pause and decree now with me. Wealth of every kind flows to me now. I give thanks for divine abundance. My subconscious accepts these truths and manifests them in my world. Let us look to history, for the great pioneers of progress understood, whether consciously or intuitively, the law of belief. Thomas Edison, before he brought light to the world, endured 10,000 failures. Yet he never spoke of failure. He spoke of discovery. He believed in the possibility of light. He pictured it. He persisted in the conviction that the solution existed. His subconscious, attuned to that belief, led him to the answer. Andrew Carnegie, born into poverty in a one-room cottage in Scotland, carried within his mind the image of wealth and usefulness. He believed in the power of service, of industry, of vision. His subconscious, charged with that belief, magnetized to him men of talent, ideas of genius, and opportunities beyond measure. He became one of the richest men of his age, not because of chance, but because of belief. Walt Disney, when he looked upon a barren swampland in Florida, saw not mud and mosquitoes, but castles, joy, and laughter. He held that inner picture with faith until the outer world conformed to it. That is the law in action. What you impress inwardly, you express outwardly. Pause now and affirm with me, I hold fast to my inner vision. What I see within, I shall experience without. My belief is the law, and it is done. Modern psychology confirms what the ancients declared. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. How many today suffer under what they call bad luck, never realizing that their subconscious patterns are merely repeating themselves? Fate is nothing but belief hardened into circumstance. But when you choose new beliefs, you write a new destiny. Napoleon Hill, in his classic Studies of Success, declared, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Note that it is not mere conception alone that brings results, but belief, impression upon the subconscious, feeling that it is true. Ernest Holmes, founder of the Science of Mind, put it plainly, change your thinking, change your life. These men were echoing what Scripture proclaimed long ago. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, Romans 12:2. Transformation does not come by willpower alone, nor by external striving, but by inner renewal, by impressing upon the subconscious new patterns of thought. HT and belief. Let us affirm together, I am transformed by the renewing of my mind. Old patterns dissolve, new life, new wealth, new joy flow through me now. At night, when you drift into sleep, the conscious guard relaxes and the subconscious stands open. This is why the final thought before sleep is of supreme importance. Whatever image, whatever feeling you impress at that moment will be faithfully reproduced by your subconscious, for it never slumbers, it never rests. It works ceaselessly to bring forth the seeds you have sown. Therefore, do not retire with the dregs of worry or resentment upon your mind. Do not rehearse the failures of the day, for these impressions will take root and grow. Instead, deliberately sow seeds of good. Imagine yourself surrounded by abundance, healed and whole, embraced by love, guided by divine wisdom. Speak words of faith. I am one with infinite intelligence. I sleep in peace. I awake in joy. Wealth, health, and love are mine now. Pause and repeat within yourself softly. I rest in the assurance of divine order. My subconscious receives seeds of peace and plenty. I sleep in abundance. I awaken in abundance. Fear has no power of its own. It is only faith inverted, belief in the wrong direction. When you dwell on lack, you are believing in lack. When you dwell on sickness, you are believing in sickness. The subconscious, impartial, accepts these decrees as readily as it accepts decrees of health and wealth. Thus, fear is simply misplaced belief. How then do we dissolve fear? Not by resisting it, for what you resist you give strength to. Instead, by turning your attention to the opposite, by affirming the good you desire, by resting in the certainty that the infinite mind within you knows the way. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Still the churning waters of fear and the divine presence will reveal itself. Say with me now. I am fearless, for God is with me. I am still and divine wisdom guides me. I walk in faith and all is well. Many years ago, a woman came to me tormented by sleepless nights. She carried the belief that something dreadful would happen to her children. Each night she lay awake rehearsing images of illness, accident, and tragedy. Her subconscious, impressed with these fearful pictures, tortured her mind and body. I taught her a simple nightly practice. Before sleep, to affirm, God watches over my children. Divine love surrounds them. Only good comes to them. I sleep in peace, for God never slumbers. Within a few nights her fears began to dissolve. Her sleep returned, her health improved, and she saw her children thrive. Why? Because the law of belief cannot be mocked. What you impress, you express. When she impressed peace, peace was expressed. Pause and affirm with me. Divine love surrounds me and my loved ones. We are safe, secure, and guided. I rest in peace, knowing infinite intelligence governs all. You may ask, but what of poverty? What of the crushing sense of lack that follows me? Poverty, too, is but a mental image impressed upon the subconscious. The man who constantly says, I can't afford it, I never have enough, life is unfair, is decreeing poverty. His subconscious faithful servant brings him the evidence of his decree. But the man who, though outwardly poor, affirms with conviction, God is my instant and everlasting supply, wealth flows to me. Freely, I am guided to prosperity, soon finds that channels open, opportunities arise, and abundance flows. For he has planted new seeds, and the law never fails to bring forth the harvest. The Master Teacher declared in Mark 11:24, What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Notice the command. Believe that you have received them, not tomorrow, not in some distant future, but now. The subconscious responds to the feeling of already having. That feeling is the creative key. Say with me quietly, I have already received. I rejoice in abundance now. I give thanks for unexpected wealth flowing freely to me. My friend, the law is simple, but you must apply it. You cannot plant thorns and expect roses. You cannot sow weeds of fear and reap a harvest of joy. You must choose this day whom you will serve, the God of faith or the idol of fear. For both are nothing but belief, and belief alone fashions your world. Therefore, each night as you prepare for sleep, take a moment to still the mind, to release the burdens of the day, and to impress upon your subconscious the image of the life you desire. Speak words of life, rich with conviction. Feel the joy of answered prayer, the peace of fulfilled desire. Your subconscious will receive the seed, and in its own wondrous way, in perfect order, it will bring it forth. Let us seal this first lesson with one final affirmation. I am one with infinite mind. My subconscious is a wellspring of abundance. I plant only seeds of truth, love, and prosperity. By divine law, these seeds grow, blossom, and bear fruit in my world now. When you awaken in the morning before the noise of the world crowds your mind, have you ever felt a quiet whisper within? A sense that something greater than you stirs beneath the surface. That inner voice is not imagination alone, but the living presence of the subconscious mind, ceaselessly working, ceaselessly guiding, ceaselessly creating. Your subconscious is the workshop of God within you. It is the unseen builder, fashioning the body, sustaining the heartbeat, mending the cells, orchestrating the very chemistry of your blood. It never slumbers, it never tires, it never argues. It simply accepts the impressions you give it, and it carries them out with mathematical precision. The conscious mind is the captain who issues orders. The subconscious is the faithful crew who obeys without question. If the captain says, I am weak, I am poor, I am unlucky, the crew obeys and fashions weakness, poverty, and misfortune. But if the captain says, I am strong, I am prosperous, I am guided by divine wisdom, the crew equally obeys, and health, wealth, and guidance appear in the voyage of life. This is why the scriptures declare, let the weak say, I am strong, Joel 3:10. The weak man who declares strength impresses strength upon his subconscious, and the subconscious brings it forth. Words charged with faith are commands to the hidden power. Pause and affirm quietly with me. I am strong in the Lord. I am guided by infinite intelligence. My subconscious accepts these truths and makes them real in my life. The subconscious is not limited to your body alone. It governs your affairs, your relationships, your destiny. It is the storehouse of memory, the seat of habit, the wellspring of genius. Great inventors, poets, scientists, and artists have testified that their greatest insights came not from laborious reasoning but from flashes, dreams, sudden inspirations that rose from the depths of the subconscious. Thomas Edison would often sleep in his chair with a steel ball in his hand. As he drifted into drowsiness, his conscious mind relaxed. The ball would fall, awaken him, and the subconscious would release to him new ideas, fresh patterns, brilliant solutions. It was not toil alone that brought light to the world, but communion with the subconscious. Nikola Tesla confessed that entire inventions came to him fully formed in mental vision before he built them. Mozart heard symphonies complete in his mind, dictated by that inner power. And Einstein, when asked how he discovered the theory of relativity, replied simply, it came in a thought. That thought was the voice of the subconscious. Carl Jung, in his profound studies, called it the collective unconscious, a deeper ocean that connects all minds. The Bible calls it the kingdom of God within you, Luke 17:21. It is the infinite mind individualized in you. Say with me now. I have access to infinite intelligence. My subconscious reveals to me ideas of wealth, health, and perfect guidance. I trust the wisdom within. But here lies the secret. The subconscious does not work alone. It is moved by faith. Faith is the bridge, the channel, the energy by which impressions sink into the deeper mind. Faith is not a vague hope nor a blind superstition. It is a quiet inner knowing, a conviction that what you have asked for is already accomplished. Mark 11:24 declares, What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. The law is exact. Desire, pray, believe, receive. Notice the order. Believe that you receive, and then you shall have. Faith impresses the subconscious produces the result. Without faith, words are empty, images are weak, affirmations are lifeless. With faith, a single word can move mountains, a single image can heal the body, a single decree can overturn poverty and bring wealth. Say softly with me, I believe that infinite supply is mine now. I believe that healing power flows through me. I believe that love surrounds me, and it is so. Consider the story of a merchant I once knew, crushed by debt, fearing bankruptcy. His conscious mind was frantic, racing with worry, imagining ruin, but I taught him to still his mind, to release fear, and to impress upon his subconscious a new belief. Each night before sleep, he affirmed, I am guided to prosperity, infinite supply meets all my needs, God's riches flow freely to me. He persisted with faith even when the outer evidence seemed hopeless. Soon ideas came, new strategies, unexpected clients, offers of partnership. Within months he was solvent, and within a year he was prosperous beyond his dreams. He did not change the market, he changed his belief. His subconscious responded with creative ideas, opening doors where none seemed to exist. This is the law illustrated in Job 22:28. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. His decree was not merely spoken, it was believed, and belief made it real. Pause and affirm with me, I decree abundance, and it is established. I decree health, and it is established. I decree love, and it is established. It is done. Faith is not strain, not forcing, not emotional intensity. Faith is inner relaxation, the quiet assurance that the law works unfailingly. When you plant a seed in the soil, you do not strain or fret. You rest, knowing the soil will bring forth the harvest. So with faith, you plant the thought, the image, the affirmation, and then you rest in quiet confidence that the subconscious will do its work. This is why Hebrews 11:1 declares, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the inner substance, the feeling of already having. It is the invisible evidence that the thing exists now in the unseen realm, awaiting expression. Walt Disney, when he first spoke of Disneyland, faced ridicule. Investors scoffed, friends doubted, but he walked at the barren land with his brother and said, can't you see it? Can't you see the rides, the castles, the children laughing? His faith was so vivid that the subconscious of others caught the vision, and soon financiers and builders gathered. Today, millions walk in the dream he once saw inwardly. Faith is the ability to see the unseen, to hold the image so firmly that it draws outer form. Pause and affirm with me. I see the unseen. I believe the invisible good is mine now. I hold fast to faith, and it manifests in perfect order. Fear is the great enemy of faith, but fear itself is only faith misdirected. Fear is belief in the power of evil, belief in sickness, belief in failure. Faith and fear are two sides of one coin. Both are belief, both are creative, both impress the subconscious. One builds, the other destroys. One uplifts, the other binds. Therefore, the task is simple. Withdraw belief from fear and place it in faith. When the voice of fear whispers, you will fail, answer with the voice of faith. Infinite intelligence within me cannot fail. When fear says you are sick, declare with faith, the healing presence of God flows through me now. When fear says you are poor, affirm with faith, I am heir to the riches of the universe. Remember Psalm 56. 3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. Trust dissolves fear, and faith establishes peace. Say with me softly, I withdraw my faith from fear. I place my faith in God, in good, in the infinite. I am safe. I am supplied. I am healed. I am free. One evening a young student came to me with trembling hands. He had failed examinations twice and was convinced he was doomed to fail again. His subconscious, impressed with images of failure, reproduced them faithfully. I told him, see yourself receiving the certificate. Imagine the congratulations, the handshake, the joy. Picture it before sleep. Night, declare, I am guided, I am confident, I succeed. He followed the instruction, and the law responded. His fear dissolved, his memory sharpened, his confidence grew. He passed with honors. What changed? Not the difficulty of the test, but the image impressed upon the subconscious. Faith replaced fear, and success replaced failure. Romans 12:2 teaches, Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. The transformation was inward first, then outward. Pause and affirm with me. I am renewed in mind. I see myself victorious. I feel myself successful. I am guided, and I succeed now. Faith also heals the body, for the body is but a projection of subconscious belief. Physicians know the power of faith, even when they call it by other names. The placebo effect is nothing but belief impressing health upon the subconscious. A woman once came to me with crippling arthritis. Her joints stiff, her body in pain. She declared constantly, I am old, I am worn out, I am useless. Her subconscious, taking these decrees, hardened them into her body. I taught her to reverse her words. I am renewed. God's life flows through me. I am strong, supple, youthful. She repeated them daily. She pictured herself walking freely. She believed that infinite life was within her. In weeks, her pain lessened. In months, she was walking with ease. She had changed her subconscious belief, and the body obeyed. This is the truth behind Psalm 103. Bless the Lord, O my soul, who healeth all thy diseases. The healing presence is within your own soul, your subconscious mind. When impressed with faith, say softly now, the healing power of God flows through me. Every cell is renewed. I am strong, vital, radiant. Health is mine now. Faith not only brings health and success, it attracts love. Many walk in loneliness because they believe they are unwanted, unworthy, unloved. Their subconscious, impressed with rejection, reproduces it in their relations. But the one who declares, I am worthy of love, divine love flows through me, I attract harmonious companions, impresses that belief upon the subconscious, and love appears. I recall a man who longed for companionship but constantly said, Women don't like me, I'll never find the right partner. His subconscious obeyed and rejection followed. I told him to change his inner conversation. I am lovable. I radiate kindness. The right companion is drawn to me by divine law. Within months he met a woman of grace, and they built a happy marriage. His outer life changed because his inner belief changed. Pause and affirm with me. I radiate love. I am worthy of love. Divine love attracts to me the perfect companion, and our union is blessed. So I say to you, the subconscious is limitless, but it responds only to faith. You must feed it daily with images of good, with affirmations of truth, with feelings of already having. Withdraw belief from appearances of lack, and place belief in the unseen riches of the infinite. Withdraw belief from sickness, and place belief in the eternal life of God. Withdraw belief from fear, and place belief in the love that never fails. Let this truth sink deep. The subconscious mind charged with faith can bring you health, wealth, love, guidance, inspiration, and peace beyond measure. There is no limit to what it can do, for it is the channel of the infinite. Seal this lesson now with a final affirmation. I believe in the power within me. My subconscious is one with infinite mind. By faith I receive health, wealth, love, and guidance. It is done. It is established. It is real now. There is a secret chamber within your mind. A sacred cinema where images come alive, where thought is clothed in form, where unseen realities begin their journey into expression. This inner screen is the faculty of visualization, the creative imagination, the language by which the subconscious receives its orders. Have you not noticed that every building, every invention, every work of art existed first as an image in the mind of its creator? The cathedral was first a vision before it was stone. The symphony was first heard inwardly before it resounded in the hall. The invention was first pictured before it was wrought in steel. The subconscious mind, faithful servant of infinite intelligence, does not distinguish between reality and vividly imagined reality. It accepts whatever image you impress upon it, especially when that image is charged with feeling. If you visualize health, wealth, love, success, and feel the joy of its accomplishment, The subconscious will take that pattern and reproduce it in your outer world. Thus the scripture declares, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Habakkuk 2:2. Writing the vision is impressing it upon the tablets of the heart, the subconscious mind. Making it plain is forming a clear mental picture, vivid, specific, and filled with emotion. He who runs is your subconscious, tirelessly working to bring it to pass. Pause now and affirm, I write the vision of abundance in my mind. I see it clearly, I feel it deeply, and my subconscious brings it forth now. Consider Walt Disney once more. He was not merely a businessman, not merely an artist, he was a master of visualization. While others saw swampland, he saw castles. While others saw risk, he saw children laughing. He walked the land and described what he saw inwardly as if it already stood outwardly. And because he saw it with faith and clarity, the world saw it also. So too, when Andrew Carnegie envisioned his empire of steel, he pictured not just profits but railways spanning continents, bridges connecting cities, lives transformed by industry. The vision became the magnet that drew men, money, and opportunity. Visualization is not daydreaming. Daydreams are idle pictures without conviction. True visualization is purposeful imagery impressed upon the subconscious with faith. It is seeing with the inner eye what you desire to experience with the outer eye. Say softly with me, I visualize only what I desire. I see it, I feel it, I know it is mine. My inner image becomes my outer world. Carl Jung spoke of active imagination, the deliberate engagement with inner images to draw forth wisdom from the depths. He taught that these images are not mere fancies but living symbols, communications from the deeper self. Likewise, the mystics of all ages have taught that imagination is the creative faculty of God in man. Genesis tells us that man is made in the image and likeness of God. Image and imagination, the power to form inner pictures. Likeness, the ability to bring those pictures into likeness in the outer world. Thus, when you visualize, you exercise the divine faculty implanted within you. Romans 4:17 speaks of God who quickeneth the dead and calleth those things which be not as though they were. This is the essence of visualization. To call the unseen as though it already were, to see the invisible and speak it into being. Affirm with me. I call things which are not as though they are. I see abundance now. I see health now, I see love now, and it is so. I once counseled a woman tormented by loneliness. She longed for companionship but believed she was unwanted. I instructed her to create a picture in her mind each night before sleep, to imagine herself walking hand in hand with a loving partner, to see a ring upon her finger, to feel the warmth of love in her heart. At first it seemed foolish to her, for she had no suitor, but she persisted, holding the image with faith. In a matter of months, a colleague introduced her to a man whose qualities matched the very picture she had formed. They were soon wed, and she often told me, it was as if he stepped right out of my imagination. Indeed, he had, for her subconscious, impressed with the image, orchestrated circumstances to bring it to pass. Visualization is the prayer of form. When you pray with words alone, you may impress lightly, but when you add imagery, vivid and alive, the impression sinks deeper. Combine words, images, and feeling, and you possess the triple chord that cannot be broken. Say now, I visualize my good. I combine word, image, and feeling. My subconscious receives the pattern and manifests it in perfect order. One man came to me suffering from a chronic illness. He had tried medicine, diet, and treatments, but his belief in sickness was stronger than his faith in health. I told him to use visualization. Each night he pictured himself running freely in a meadow, his body strong, his breath easy, his limbs free of pain. He felt the joy of health as if it were happening in that moment. At first his conscious mind resisted, whispering, it is not true, you are sick. But he persisted, refusing to argue, simply continuing the picture. Within weeks his condition improved. Within months he was walking with ease. His body changed because his subconscious had accepted a new image. This is the secret of Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. Without a vision of health, he withered. With a vision, he revived. Without a vision of prosperity, men remain in lack. With a vision, wealth flows. Without a vision of harmony, relationships decay. With a vision, love blossoms. Pause and affirm. I hold my vision steadfast. My vision is life, health, and prosperity. I see it clearly, and it manifests in my world. Napoleon Hill, after decades of study, being the most successful men, wrote that one of the central keys was definiteness of purpose, a clear, specific goal held in the mind with belief. This is another way of saying visualization with faith. He told the story of a boy who declared that he would one day be a partner in his uncle's law firm. Though he had no resources, he held the image clearly and persistently. In time, opportunities unfolded, and the vision was realized. This is the law. The subconscious moves toward the dominant picture. If your vision is vague, the results are vague. If your vision is clear and charged with belief, the results are certain. Affirm softly. I make my vision plain. I see it vividly. I hold it faithfully, and the law of mind brings it to pass. Visualization is also the secret of wealth. Many think wealth is numbers in a bank, but true wealth begins in the imagination. A man who constantly pictures lack, who imagines bills piling up, who sees himself struggling, impresses poverty upon his subconscious. The law obeys, and he experiences lack. But the man who imagines abundance, who pictures himself paying bills with joy, who sees money flowing, who visualizes himself serving with excellence and receiving rich reward, that man impresses prosperity upon his subconscious. And the law obeys, producing channels, opportunities, and ideas that bring wealth. Andrew Carnegie, before he became a titan of industry, pictured himself as a man of wealth and service. He held the image of libraries, schools, and industries that lifted millions. That vision became the magnet drawing resources to him. Say now with conviction, I see myself prosperous. I see money flowing freely. I see doors opening. I am guided to wealth, and it appears now. Visualization must be accompanied by feeling, for feeling is the language of the subconscious. A cold picture without emotion is a weak impression. A vivid picture with strong feeling is irresistible. When you visualize, do not merely see, feel. If you visualize health, feel the joy of running, the freedom of movement, the thrill of vitality. If you visualize wealth, feel the security, the gratitude, the generosity. If you visualize love, feel the warmth, the tenderness, the harmony. Neville Goddard, another great teacher of the subconscious, declared, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is the essence of visualization. You must not merely see the end, you must feel it as present now. Say softly with me, I feel my vision fulfilled. I feel health now. I feel wealth now. I feel love now. The feeling is the secret, and it is done. One businessman facing collapse came to me in despair. I told him to visualize himself shaking hands with happy clients, to see his ledger filled with profits, to feel the satisfaction of success. He practiced daily, and soon he found his confidence restored. Ideas flowed, clients returned, new contracts appeared. His outer world changed because his inner picture changed. This is the truth behind Psalm 37. 4. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. To delight in the Lord is to feel joy in the unseen good, to rejoice in the inner vision, to hold the desire as if fulfilled. The subconscious, impressed with that delight, brings it forth. Pause now and affirm, I delight in my vision. I rejoice in my unseen good. My heart is glad and my desires are fulfilled now. Visualization is also the secret of harmony in relationships. When you picture others with suspicion, anger, or resentment, you impress discord upon your subconscious, and discord is expressed in your dealings. But what? And you visualize others surrounded by love, radiant with kindness, responding with harmony. Your subconscious accepts this pattern and harmony is expressed. I knew a woman who quarreled constantly with her neighbor. She pictured him as hostile, unreasonable, and cruel. I told her to reverse the image, to visualize him smiling, speaking kindly, acting with goodwill. She resisted at first, but she persisted. Within weeks, the neighbor's attitude softened and peace was restored. She had changed the image, and the law had changed the relationship. Say gently, I see others in the light of divine love. I visualize harmony, kindness, and peace. My relationships are blessed. Visualization is the art of creation. It is the way in which you cooperate with infinite intelligence. The images you form, when charged with faith and feeling, are the blueprints by which the subconscious builds. Therefore, guard your inner cinema. Refuse to rehearse images of fear, sickness, poverty, or failure. Instead, deliberately form images of health, wealth, love, and success. Hold them with joy, return to them often, let them saturate your mind before sleep. And know that by divine law, what you see within, you shall see without. Seal this lesson with one final affirmation. I am a master of visualization. I see only the good, the true, the beautiful. My inner pictures are seeds of abundance. They grow, blossom, and bear fruit in perfect order. What I see inwardly, I experience outwardly now. There are moments in every life, moments when the weight of circumstance presses heavily upon the heart, when fear whispers that tomorrow holds no answer, when the soul longs for a word of assurance, a sign that the infinite has not abandoned it. It is in these moments that prayer becomes the golden bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the conscious cry and the subconscious response. Prayer, rightly understood, is not begging a reluctant deity to change his mind. Prayer is the acceptance of divine order already present. It is the recognition that infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite love are here and now, waiting only for your inner agreement. Prayer is aligning thought with truth, impressing the subconscious with harmony, and allowing divine law to manifest its perfection. The scriptures proclaim, before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24. This means that the infinite already knows your need, for the seed of the answer is implanted within the very fabric of your being. Prayer does not inform God of your lack. Prayer awakens you to God's abundance. Pause and affirm. I pray with assurance. God knows my need. The answer is within me now. My prayer is heard, and it is fulfilled. When Jesus declared, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24. He revealed the eternal law of prayer. To pray is to believe that the answer exists now. To pray is to see the invisible as real, to accept the desired state as already accomplished. To impress the subconscious with this conviction. Many fail in prayer because they pray in contradiction. With their lips they say, I am healed, while inwardly they picture sickness. With their lips they say, I am prospered, while inwardly they rehearse lack. The subconscious receives not the words alone, but the mental image and the feeling. Therefore, true prayer is the harmony of word, image, and belief. Affirm softly. My words, my thoughts, and my feelings are one. I pray in unity. I believe I have received, and it is done. Prayer is not only request, it is thanksgiving. Gratitude is the atmosphere of answered prayer. When you give thanks as though the good is already accomplished, your subconscious accepts the reality of it and moves to bring it forth. This is why Jesus, before raising Lazarus, said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. John 11:41. He gave thanks before the outward miracle appeared, for inwardly it was already complete. One man I counseled, drowning in debt, began each night to thank God for financial abundance. At first it felt insincere, for his bills were many, yet he persisted, giving thanks with feeling, picturing himself free and secure. In time, opportunities opened, debts were resolved, and abundance flowed. Gratitude had impressed the subconscious with the reality of supply. Pause now and affirm, I give thanks for abundance now. I give thanks for health now. I give thanks for love now. My gratitude seals the prayer, and it is so. The law of prayer is the law of belief. Ernest Holmes declared, prayer is the contemplation of the facts of life from the highest point of view. That highest point of view is divine order. No matter how chaotic appearances may seem, beneath the surface is an infinite intelligence ordering all things. To pray is to turn from the chaos of sense to the order of spirit, to affirm that order with conviction, and to rest in its inevitability. Job 22:21 exhorts, acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace, thereby good shall come unto thee. To acquaint yourself with God is to recognize the presence of infinite order within you, to align your thoughts with it, and to release fear. Peace is the evidence of answered prayer. Say softly with me, I am acquainted with divine order. I rest in peace. I know all is unfolding for my highest good. When you speak words charged with faith, you are setting into motion vibrations that penetrate the subconscious and ripple outward into the world. Words are not idle sounds. They are containers of belief, carriers of thought. When filled with conviction, they possess creative power. Proverbs 18:21 declares, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Your words plant seeds of life or seeds of death in your subconscious. If you constantly say, "I can't, I lack, I fear," you decree limitation. If you say, "I can, I prosper, I am guided," you decree abundance. Andrew Carnegie once said, "Aim for the highest and the best, and say so." His words were not idle boasts, but affirmations that shaped his subconscious and drew resources. Napoleon Hill observed that every successful man he studied had a habit of declaring success long before it was visible. Affirm now. My words are creative. I speak only words of life, prosperity, and love. What I decree is established in divine law. Consider Thomas Edison. When others doubted the possibility of the electric light, he declared its certainty. His spoken words reinforced his inner vision. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These words impressed perseverance upon his subconscious, and his subconscious guided him to success. Words spoken with conviction are prayers. Words spoken with fear are also prayers. Every utterance impresses the subconscious. Therefore, guard your speech, for what you say outwardly becomes what you live inwardly. Say softly, "I guard my words. I speak with faith. I decree abundance, health, and love, and it is established now." Prayer is also silence. When words cease and the heart rests in stillness, the subconscious is open to receive. The psalmist said, "Be still and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. In the stillness of silence, the waters of the mind are calm, and divine wisdom speaks. One man, faced with a difficult decision, came to me in turmoil. I told him to cease striving, to sit quietly, to affirm, "Infinite intelligence guides me now." In silence, a clear impression rose in his mind, directing him to a course of action that brought success. The answer was not forced. It arose naturally from the depths. Prayer is not always petition. Often it is simply recognition. Recognition of God's presence. Recognition of divine order. Recognition that the infinite already dwells within you. Affirm now. I am still. I know that God is within me. Infinite intelligence guides me, and I rest in peace. Many misunderstand prayer as resistance. They pray against conditions, saying, "I don't want this illness, I don't want this poverty." But resistance magnifies what you resist. True prayer is turning away from the condition and affirming the opposite. If you are sick, affirm health. If you are poor, affirm abundance. If you are lonely, affirm love. Paul declared, "Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good." Romans 12:21. To pray is not to struggle with evil, but to affirm the presence of good. The subconscious accepts the image of health, wealth, and love, not the image of struggle. Say softly, "I turn from appearances. I affirm the good. I see health, wealth, and love now." My subconscious accepts and manifests it in divine order. Divine order is the invisible pattern of harmony underlying all things. Though appearances may seem chaotic, the infinite mind knows the end from the beginning. When you affirm divine order, you place yourself in alignment with this higher pattern, and the crooked places are made straight. Isaiah 45:2 proclaims, "I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight." This is the assurance of divine order. Even when you see no way, infinite intelligence has already prepared the path. Your task is not to force, but to trust. Not to struggle, but to rest in faith. One woman, facing confusion in her affairs, began each morning to affirm, "Divine order governs my life. Infinite intelligence is my guide." He says, "Lowly the tangles unraveled, solutions appeared, relationships healed, finances stabilized, divine order manifested because she accepted it inwardly." Pause and affirm, "Divine order governs my life. All things are working together for good. Infinite intelligence directs my path." Prayer, divine order, and the spoken word converge in one truth. What you accept inwardly, you express outwardly. When you pray with faith, affirming divine order, speaking words of life, your subconscious accepts the pattern and reproduces it. The outer world is but the echo of the inner decree. This is the essence of Job. 22:28. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Your decree is your prayer. Your decree is your word. Your decree is your alignment with divine order. Decree health, and it is established. Decree wealth, and it is established. Decree love, and it is established. Affirm now. I decree abundance. I decree health. I decree love. My subconscious accepts it, and it is established now. One final story. A businessman I knew faced the collapse of his company. He prayed frantically, begging for deliverance, but his fear was greater than his faith. I told him to cease begging and to pray with assurance. Each day he affirmed, divine order governs my business. Infinite intelligence opens the way. I am prospered in all I do. He spoke these words with conviction, pictured success, and gave thanks. Within months, new contracts appeared, creditors extended grace, and his business flourished. What changed? Not the world first, his belief changed. His prayer shifted from fear to faith, from struggle to assurance. The subconscious, thus impressed, produced results in divine order. Say with me now, gently but firmly, my prayer is faith, my words are truth, divine order governs my life, all is well, and it is so. Have you ever noticed how the more you fight a shadow, the larger it seems to grow? How the more you resist a thought, the more stubbornly it clings? How the more you battle against fear, the tighter its grip becomes? This is because resistance feeds the very condition you wish to dissolve. What you resist, you magnetize. What you fight, you fix in place. The law of mind is impartial. It responds to attention, whether positive or negative. To dwell on fear, even in opposition, is to affirm fear. To resist poverty is to give energy to poverty. To resist illness is to charge illness with belief. But when you turn from resistance to acceptance of truth, when you rest in the calm assurance of divine love, the shadow dissolves. Jesus said, resist not evil. Matthew 5:39. He did not mean to tolerate injustice or to remain passive before harm. He meant, do not fight the shadow with shadow. Do not war with conditions in mind, but dissolve them by affirming the presence of God, the reality of love, the supremacy of truth. Pause and affirm. I do not resist shadows. I turn to the light of truth. Fear dissolves, and only love remains. Fear, you see, is not an entity with substance. Fear is only faith inverted, belief turned in the wrong direction. It is the misuse of imagination, picturing disaster, rehearsing loss, magnifying shadows. Just as visualization of abundance produces abundance, so visualization of loss produces loss. The subconscious, impartial, accepts both as seed. But fear has no power of its own. It borrows its life from your attention. Withdraw your attention, turn it toward the opposite, and fear evaporates. As Job confessed, the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me. Job 3:25. Fear is simply belief clothed in negative form. One woman I knew constantly feared illness. Every cough alarmed her. Every ache seemed fatal. Her subconscious, impressed by these images, produced endless ailments until she reversed her practice. Instead of rehearsing sickness, she affirmed, I am divinely healthy. God's life flows through me. She vitor disease. Visualized vitality, pictured herself radiant, and refused to resist fear. She simply ignored it and replaced it. In time, her body reflected her new belief. Say softly now, I do not fear. I believe in life. God's health is mine. I rest in peace, and all is well. Non-resistance is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. The oak that resists the storm may be broken, but the reed that bends remains standing. Likewise, when you cease resisting circumstances with tension and instead align with divine order, you discover that the infinite carries you. The Taoist sages spoke of water as the perfect symbol. Water yields, yet it overcomes stone. It does not resist, yet it carves valleys and wears down mountains. Non-resistance is the way of water, gentle, yielding, but irresistible. Paul the Apostle echoed this when he said, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. To resist is to be overcome. To affirm the good is to triumph. You need not wrestle with fear. Simply affirm love. You need not resist poverty. Simply affirm abundance. You need not resist hatred. Simply affirm harmony. Pause and affirm, I am like water. I yield to divine love. I do not resist. I overcome with good. Fear vanishes. Love reigns. Carl Jung observed that what you resist persists. The repressed shadow, denied and fought, only grows stronger. But when you face it without fear, accept its presence as illusion, and turn to the opposite truth, it dissolves. Napoleon Hill wrote that the only thing man must fear is fear itself, for fear paralyzes action, stifles imagination, and poisons faith. Andrew Carnegie once said that he never allowed fear of loss to dominate him, for he trusted the principle of abundance. He believed that supply was infinite, and that conviction magnetized wealth to him. The Bible declares, God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Fear is not of God. It is the offspring of false belief. Power, love, and soundness are your inheritance. Say firmly, I have not the spirit of fear. I have the spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I rest in God's assurance, and I am free. Non-resistance is also the secret of forgiveness. Many resist others in their hearts, holding grudges, rehearsing wrongs. This inner resistance creates conflict within, poisoning the subconscious. But forgiveness, releasing the resistance, frees you. To forgive is not to condone harm. It is to dissolve the poison of resistance and to affirm love. One businessman I counseled was consumed by bitterness toward a partner who betrayed him. His mind replayed the offense daily and his business stagnated. I instructed him to cease resisting the memory and instead affirm, I release him to God. I am free. Only divine love governs me. At first his mind rebelled, but he persisted. In time, the bitterness dissolved, his health improved, and prosperity returned. Forgiveness is non-resistance in action. It is refusing to let the shadow bind you, choosing instead to dwell in love. Affirm softly, I release all resistance, I forgive, I bless, I am free. Divine love fills my heart, and peace is mine. Fear is often rooted in the illusion of separation, the belief that you are cut off from life, from supply, from love. But when you realize that infinite mind is within you, that divine love surrounds you, that supply flows through you, fear loses its basis. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. John 10:30. This is the antidote to fear, oneness with God. When you know that the infinite is your source, your life, your protector, you cease resisting shadows, for you know the light is already present. Thomas Edison, asked how he endured so many failures, replied that he never feared failure, for he believed in the certainty of discovery. His lack of fear kept his imagination free, and free imagination produced results. Walt Disney, when mocked for his visions, refused to resist the laughter of critics. He simply returned to his inner picture, non-resistant, persistent, and faith-filled. The result was joy for millions. Say gently, I am one with God. I fear nothing. I resist nothing. I rest in love, and my path is made straight. Non-resistance dissolves even poverty consciousness. Many resist poverty with bitterness, saying, I hate being poor. I fear bills. I resent lack. This resistance only deepens the impression of lack. The subconscious accepts these declarations and reproduces them. But when you cease resisting and instead affirm abundance, when you picture supply flowing, when you rest in the conviction that God is your source, the chains break. Job 22:28 again assures, Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Decree abundance, not resistance to lack. One man, perpetually in debt, shifted his approach. Instead of saying, I don't want to be broke, he affirmed, I am rich in divine supply. Money flows to me freely. He visualized bills paid with ease, gave thanks for abundance, and ceased fearing creditors. In months, new channels of income appeared and debt dissolved. His non-resistance opened the flow. Affirm with conviction. I resist not lack. I affirm abundance. I see bills paid, money flowing, wealth established. Divine supply is mine now. Even in health, resistance strengthens disease. To resist illness with fear is to feed it. To affirm health is to dissolve it. I recall a man battling insomnia. Each night he resisted sleep, worrying, what if I cannot rest? The very resistance kept him awake. When I told him to cease resisting and instead affirm, I sleep in peace, I wake in joy, and to visualize himself already sleeping, his mind relaxed. Soon he slept naturally, for he had withdrawn the energy of resistance. Psalm 4:8 declares, I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. This is non-resistance, trusting the infinite, releasing fear, and resting in peace. Say softly, I resist not. I sleep in peace. I dwell in safety. Divine love restores me now. The secret, beloved, is surrender, not to conditions, but to divine love. Non-resistance is not passivity. It is active surrender to the higher mind. It is saying, I trust God's wisdom more than my struggle. I rest in the assurance that all is well. Romans 8:28 proclaims, all things work together for good to them that love God. When you cease resisting and begin loving, you see how even challenges unfold into blessings. The subconscious, impressed with trust, guides you into harmony. Affirm now with peace. I surrender to divine love. I resist nothing. I accept the good. All things work together for my blessing. So remember, fear is only faith in the wrong direction. Resistance magnifies what you resist. Non-resistance dissolves fear by withdrawing attention and affirming love. The shadow vanishes in the light. Therefore, live as water, yielding yet strong. Speak words of faith, not fear. Forgive and release. Affirm abundance instead of resisting lack. Rest in divine order instead of struggling against appearances. This is the way of peace, the way of power, the way of non-resistance. Seal these truths with one final decree. I resist nothing. I fear nothing. I surrender to divine love. I live in peace, in abundance, in joy. My subconscious accepts this truth, and it is so. Have you ever wondered why some lives blossom with radiant health, overflowing abundance, and harmony in love, while others, equally earnest, struggle under the shadow of illness, lack, and discord? The difference is not fate, nor chance, nor accident. It is law, the law of belief, the law of love, the law of the subconscious mind. All healing is founded on love. All abundance flows from love. All harmony springs from love. For love is the very essence of God, the lifeblood of creation, the vibration that heals every wound and supplies every need. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. 1 John 4:16. To dwell in love is to dwell in health, in wealth, in peace. Pause now and affirm gently, I dwell in love. Love fills my mind, heals my body, and prospers my way. Let us first speak of healing. The subconscious mind is the seat of life itself. Every heartbeat, every breath, every cell renewal is directed by its wisdom. It is the architect of the body. When filled with love and faith, it renews tissues, dissolves growths, balances chemistry, and restores vitality. Jesus spoke with authority when he said, according to your faith be it unto you. Matthew 9:29. He knew that the faith impressed upon the subconscious releases healing power. The woman who touched the hem of his garment was healed not by cloth but by belief. Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Mark 5:34. Illness often arises from fear, resentment, guilt, or suppression. These negative states disturb the subconscious harmony and manifest as disease. But when love enters, the poison dissolves. Forgiveness, gratitude, and faith re-establish the divine rhythm, and health cease. Returns. One man, tormented by ulcers, confessed that he carried hatred toward a relative. His subconscious, poisoned by resentment, produced acid and pain. When he forgave, affirmed peace, and filled his heart with love, the ulcers healed. Say softly now, I release all bitterness. I forgive. I love. God's healing life flows through me, making me whole. Love is not merely a sentiment, it is a vibration, a power, a spiritual energy that heals. Ernest Holmes declared, love is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. Love is the balm that soothes every wound. Medical science has proven that joy, hope, and love stimulate the immune system while fear and hatred weaken it. Dr. Alexis Carrel observed that gratitude and love prolong life while resentment shortens it. The subconscious responds instantly to the atmosphere of love. Walt Disney once said, laughter is timeless, imagination has no age, and dreams are forever. His joy was contagious because it was rooted in love. That love produced vitality in his creative life, and it can produce vitality in your body. Say firmly, The joy of the Lord is my strength. Love heals me now. I radiate health, peace, and vitality. Now let us turn to abundance. Abundance, 2, is a form of healing. The healing of poverty consciousness, the lifting of limitation, the restoration of flow. For just as the body is designed to renew, life itself is designed to prosper. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. Want is unnatural. Supply is natural. The infinite knows no lack. The subconscious, when impressed with abundance, opens channels of wealth, ideas, and opportunities. But many block abundance by fear of lack, by resentment of others' success, by guilt about money. This resistance shuts the flow. Yet when you affirm love toward money, love toward success, love toward wealth, abundance returns. A businessman once told me, "I hate money. It causes strife." Naturally, he struggled financially. I advised him to change his attitude. He began to say, "I love money. Money is God's circulating energy. It blesses me and others." In time, his business prospered, for love removed resistance. Say with conviction, "I love abundance. I love money as God's circulating good. It flows to me in love, and I use it in love." The Bible declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over." Luke 6:38. Giving is love in action. When you give freely, say it's love, service, kindness, or wealth, you open the channel for more to flow. But give with joy, not fear. Give with love, not obligation, for the measure you use is the measure returned. Andrew Carnegie, who endowed libraries and institutions, often said that giving expanded his wealth. He trusted the law of circulation. His love of humanity made him one of the richest men of his age. Love opens the gate of abundance because it removes envy and fear. When you bless others' prosperity, you invite prosperity to yourself. Say warmly, "I bless the wealth of others. I rejoice in others' success. Love multiplies my abundance now." And what of love in human relations? Every relationship is the mirror of the mind. If you harbor suspicion, jealousy, or bitterness, your subconscious projects them into your relations. If you dwell in love, your subconscious projects harmony, kindness, and attraction. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. If you think in love, you attract love. If you affirm companionship, you magnetize friends. If you radiate kindness, you receive kindness. One lonely woman affirmed daily, "I am surrounded by love. I radiate love. I attract loving companions." She visualized herself laughing with friends, sharing joy, feeling appreciated. In months, her circle grew and love blossomed in her life. Another man, longing for marriage, ceased resisting loneliness and began affirming, "God's love unites me with my perfect companion. I radiate love and attract love." Soon he met his partner, for the subconscious had responded. Say gently, "I radiate love. I attract love. Divine harmony governs all my relationships." The law of love is universal. It heals the body, prospers the finances, harmonizes relationships. To resist love is to suffer. To yield to love is to flourish. For love is not weakness but power, the greatest power in heaven and earth. Perfect love casteth out fear. 1 John 4:18. When you fill your subconscious with love, fear dissolves, disease vanishes, lack disappears. Discord is healed. Carl Jung wrote that the most important question anyone can ask is, "What myth am I living?" If you live the myth of fear, your life will show fear. But if you live the myth of love, your life will show love, health, and prosperity. Napoleon Hill declared, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." When you conceive love and believe in love, you achieve love's results, abundance, harmony, healing. Say firmly, "Perfect love fills me now. Fear is gone. Health is mine. Wealth is mine. Harmony is mine." Love is not limited to persons. It is the universal solvent, the healer of nations, the key to peace. Imagine if governments acted in love, if businesses traded in love, if science pursued truth in love. War, greed, and corruption would dissolve, and the kingdom of heaven would appear on earth. Jesus said, "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you." John 13:34. This commandment is not sentiment, it is law. Love is the only foundation for lasting health, wealth, and peace. Say reverently, "I love and I am loved. I live in the law of love. God is love and his love is my life." Beloved, healing is yours through love. Abundance is yours through love. Harmony is yours through love. Do not fight disease, love health. Do not resist poverty, love abundance. Do not resent loneliness, love companionship. For what you love, you magnetize. Therefore, dwell in love. Speak words of love. Visualize with love. Pray in love. Act in love. For love never fails. Seal this truth now in your subconscious with one final decree. I dwell in divine love. Love heals me, prospers me, guides me, and fills my world. I radiate love, and I attract love. I live in the law of love, now and forever. Have you ever looked at your life, your desires, your struggles, your prayers, and wondered why some dreams unfold so swiftly, while others seem delayed, hidden, or denied? The truth is this: nothing is denied you but that which you deny yourself by belief. For the infinite withholds nothing. The treasure house of God is already within you, waiting only for belief to unlock it. All things are possible to him that believeth. Mark 9:23. This is not mere poetry. It is law. What you truly believe, your subconscious accepts. What it accepts, it reproduces. What it reproduces, you live. Thus, manifestation is not a gift of chance, but the natural outcome of belief impregnated into the subconscious mind. Pause and affirm gently, I believe, I accept, I manifest. God's abundance is mine now. Manifestation begins always in the higher mind. The conscious mind conceives the idea, the subconscious mind receives the impression, and the infinite, the higher power, the Spirit of God, gives it form in the world. Jesus revealed the formula when he said, What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24. The order is clear: desire, belief, reception in the mind, manifestation in the world. First you believe you have received, in the invisible. Then the visible appears. Napoleon Hill taught the same. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Walt Disney dreamed his castles long before they rose in stone. Thomas Edison saw the light before it burned in filament. Each impressed their subconscious with a clear vision, and the higher mind clothed it in form. Say with conviction, I conceive the idea. I believe it is mine. The infinite manifests it now. The law of manifestation is impartial. It does not ask whether your belief is wise or foolish, healthy or unhealthy, but simply reproduces what you impress. Thus the fearful manifest fear, the sickly manifest illness, the impoverished manifest lack. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. The subconscious cannot be deceived by words alone. It responds to feeling and belief. Therefore, the key is to feel the reality of your desire, to dwell in it as already true, to imagine it vividly and gratefully until the subconscious accepts it. When it accepts, manifestation is certain. Job 22:28 declares, Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Your decree is your mental image, your spoken word, your inner conviction. When you decree with love and faith, the universe moves to establish it. Affirm now. I decree abundance, I decree health, I decree harmony. It is established unto me. Manifestation also requires surrender. The conscious mind is finite. It does not know the perfect way, the exact channel. But the higher mind, infinite intelligence, knows all. When you surrender to divine order, you free the subconscious to arrange conditions in ways you cannot foresee. I recall a man who longed for a promotion. He fixated on one particular position, resisted all else, and grew frustrated when it eluded him. I counseled him to release the fixation and affirm instead, Divine order governs my life. I accept the perfect position for me now. Within weeks, a new opportunity opened in a different company, far greater than he had imagined. His surrender allowed the higher mind to manifest what was best. Thus, manifestation is not forcing the universe, but yielding to divine order. Say, softly, I surrender to divine wisdom. I accept the perfect manifestation. God's way is my way now. Remember, manifestation is never delayed. It unfolds according to the seed sown. A farmer plants and trusts the law of growth. He does not dig up the seed in impatience, nor does he resist the soil. He trusts. Likewise, your role is to plant the seed of belief, water it with gratitude, guard it from fear, and trust the higher mind to bring harvest. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Transformation begins inwardly. Renew your mind with truth, and your world renews itself. Say with joy, I renew my mind. I think abundance. I feel abundance. I manifest abundance. Love is the final key to manifestation. Without love, desires may distort into greed, fears, or empty victories. With love, manifestation blesses you and others. The higher mind is love itself, and it reveals only what accords with love. Andrew Carnegie used his wealth to uplift millions because he recognized that true manifestation must circulate. In love, Carl Jung taught that integration of the self is healing only when love governs the union. Ernest Holmes wrote that manifestation without love is incomplete, for love is the cement of the universe. Therefore, let every vision be steeped in love. See your wealth blessing others. See your health radiating joy. See your relationships as instruments of harmony. Manifest not only for self, but as a channel of divine love. Affirm tenderly, I manifest in love. My wealth blesses others. My health uplifts. My life radiates harmony. Beloved, manifestation is not distant. It is here, now, unfolding even as you believe. For in truth, the desire itself is proof that the answer exists. You would not thirst without water to quench it. You would not long without fulfillment prepared. The higher mind planted the desire, and the higher mind fulfills it. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Psalm 37:4. To delight in God is to trust infinite love, to dwell in faith, to rejoice in truth. When you delight in love, your desires manifest in harmony. Say now, the desires of my heart are divine. God fulfills them in perfect ways now. Manifestation is the flowering of all we have learned. The law of belief impresses the subconscious. Visualization paints the seed. Prayer seals it with faith. Non-resistance allows the flow. Healing restores harmony. Abundance flows in circulation. Love crowns all, guiding manifestation into peace. Thus the journey is complete. Beloved soul, remember always, you are not a beggar of fate. You are a creator with God. You are not bound by fear. You are free in love. You are not limited by lack. You are heir to infinite supply. The higher mind is within you, and through your belief it manifests the kingdom of heaven on earth. Therefore, decree it, believe it, feel it, love it, and it shall be. Seal this entire journey with one final affirmation spoken with conviction. I am one with the higher mind. I believe, I accept, I manifest. Health, abundance, and love are mine now. I live in divine order, and all is well.